because on one of the evenings, you might have noticed, Karen, that it suddenly had,
A gap.
yeah,
Yeah.
talking. Well, no, it wasn't a gap. There was just suddenly talking because the
Oh, at the
beginning of
beginning of
it,
your
yeah,
first meeting, that I thought, oh, you lot are talking about all sorts of things. Oh, let's listen in.
yeah. And we'd been talking about the progress they'd had, the 20, like the previous 24 hours and
Yeah,
observations. So Debbie had made some observations, some sort of, like pearls of wisdom that she suddenly went, ah, I recognise that. And
yeah.
then there was also from Christiana as well. And we had all of this great stuff that went on. Good evening, Tessit. It's lovely
Good
seeing you
evening.
again.
Good
And
evening.
yeah, so we missed out that bit, and it was only starting with, and I can't remember, it was sort of midway through, but never mind, never mind. It still was useful information, so that was
Good.
great. So, and I know that you have been watching the videos because based on the message that you shared with me, Karen. But what I would like to have is just as a brief insight of what you've taken from the few nights that you've had already. Maybe you've had a chance to do checklists. I know you've been
Yeah, I haven't done
super
any of
busy.
the homework. I haven't done any homework. I'm going to put my hand up now, not try to bluff it because I'm bound to go wrong. But my main thing is one, how many women out there are powerful and ready to rock and roll? And we kind of hide behind our sex as
Mhm.
we can't do it because we're women. But you know what? As I said to you earlier, behind every successful man is a strong woman. Now we just have to be successful women for ourselves.
Absolutely. And you're right. Look, at the end of the day, we're all limitless. In
Mhm.
whatever strength that we have, we are all limitless, and we can all achieve anything that we set our mind to.
Yeah,
It's this that holds us back, and we can quite easily blame external factors for why we're not achieving it. But quite often, it's the limiting beliefs that we have of ourselves that prevent us from taking those steps forwards.
yeah.
Mhm.
And
Um,
what I also said to you, I sent an email to you yesterday. It is inspiring this whole these sessions, and plus it's holistic. It's not just about money in the bank. It's about making yourself stronger physically, mentally, and otherwise, spiritually, if you want to go down that road, to
mhm.
do better for yourselves and don't put limits on. And as you said, Keely, we're limitless. We're women. We're warriors.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's lovely to see you again, Thursday. And I hope you've had a chance to um, go through the checklists and maybe last night's have a bit of reflection and time to, well, see what you've discovered.
Yes, I find it's very interesting because it is very t touching. It seems it's things we know, but we never give it detailed attention to it, and it is affecting us very, very much to the level we couldn't find ourselves to the place we should be.
Mhm.
So it's very interesting. I try to play around with checklists, not exactly working clearly, but I try to read it through and reflect to each of the questions. But I want to do it with more detailed attention because that's how I think I can get the results.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, Thursday, I mean, first of all, I mean, it's great that you've had these reflections. Because quite often it is us that gets in the way, and we do know it. A lot of the stuff, it's like logical stuff. Yeah, I mean, just simple things like just go for a walk, getting some fresh air. I mean, they're logical things that we should do anyway, but because we're busy, busy, busy fools, we don't have time for ourselves. We think that we're superhuman, and we're trying to do everything for everybody else. So, but the this week is really to give you some insights of what's the possibilities, but it's a long journey. It takes time to actually get to grips with what's going on, and being able to check in with yourself. As I said the other day, is that I've been working on myself solidly, and I mean solidly, for 5 years. And I mean, Evgenia knows me from past, and I was one of these women like Evgenia that was going
Oh
at
yeah,
1,000 miles
working
an hour,
forever, never ending.
long hours, going, looking after the children, looking after the wife, being the one that does this, like constant.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until I just went and crashed, literally crashed, that I finally took time for me to reflect and slow down and reset and re-energize and actually look back on everything that had gone on since I was knee high to a grasshopper. And I realized all the things that I'd been doing along the way. So it takes a long time to unwrap.
Yes.
And it's lovely to see you again, Evgenia. What I'm going to invite you all now, if you can turn your speakers off, and then I will then share um, the next part of the session. And just a reminder for anybody else that as watching the daily recordings, that you're in the right space. For whatever reason, I can't find. There you go. Get rid of you. Don't like the floating meeting thing. So, and just get this done. And if there's any messages, can you see my desktop yet? Can you see my desktop? All okay, everybody? Yep, thumbs up. Excellent. Thank you. And just make sure we're all okay. So let's just move on. So we've had a little bit of reflection already, had a bit of a discussion about the other night and what we've learned and gleaned from for the whole of the week. And this isn't actually day 3, it's day 4. So doesn't time fly when you're having fun? So um so just as a reference back to last night and what it was that we was actually covering off last night, one of the key areas we was looking at was our belief drivers and how it actually has an impact on our behaviours. So those internal narratives that effectively shape our leadership decisions, whether that's in a positive direction or it actually impacts the way in which we show up. And then we also looked at, the freedom that we can create by unwrapping those outdated beliefs and create awareness. So it gives you a choice to make the decisions that you need to make. And then obviously the most beautiful part is that it's going to be able to replace your belief that you had and then being able to reconnect with your authentic message and your presence and what helps you to show up and shine as the leader you are, no matter what facet of life it is. So that's whether it is in your professional career, in your family, your friends, and whatever it is that you're doing. As Karen said, this isn't just about leadership and career and success and financials. It's all about you, the holistic and the beautiful you, so you can connect with yourself. Because, by the way, if you cannot learn to love yourself, then how can others learn to love you too? You've got to love yourself first, and that's where it all starts from. So tonight, what we're going to be covering off is 3 key areas. As one is about reconnecting with your purpose and your passion, something that I absolutely love and I'm very, very passionate about. And it is the core to everything I do within my business. The second key part is about your core strengths and recognizing your distinctive talents. Because again, like Karen just mentioned, is that quite often we don't recognize the skills and capabilities that we have. And as she says, behind every strong man, and I'd say strong women as well, there's also a very talented and strong woman that's helping them to be successful. All right. And then it's also about helping you to align your actions with your unique vision and having a career strategy to be able to move you in the right direction. So this is all about rediscovering your why, because your why is everything that connects to your heart, your mind, and drives and motivates you every day. Effectively, your why is your clarity. It gives you that sense of direction. It helps you to know where you need to be heading towards and helps you to have decisive action of how you're going to achieve it. Because unfortunately, as I said right at the beginning of this, quite often we fall out of education into a career unless we absolutely know that we've got like a vocation from a young age that we maybe want to be a dancer, a doctor, a hairdresser, a fighter pilot, or whatever it may be. And I say fighter pilot because I wanted to fly tornado jets, not because I wanted to go into battle, but it's something that I always wanted to do because of the speed and being up there, up in the sky and just enjoying it. But unfortunately, women weren't allowed to do it then. So there you go. And the problem is that we end up quite often in careers by luck, and sometimes we go into a career that we like and we enjoy, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we love it and it gives us the passion. And as I've mentioned, is that when you know what your why is, it really fills you with energy. It provides you that guiding light. It fuels you every single day. And it doesn't matter whether you have challenging days, tough times. When you get up in the morning, you're still motivated and energized because you are so clear about what it is that you love. It is your inner fuel, your energy. And then it also means that when you own your unique story, your strengths just stand out. You stand out, and you are attractive to others, particularly for any opportunity that you may head towards, no matter what it can be. Because when you are passionate about what you believe in, this happens. Your eyes sparkle, your energy flows, and people can see that, and you become even more confident in everything that you do. So it gives you so many opportunities. And as I said before, is that when you have rediscovered your why, your purpose, it becomes your compass for your leadership choices. So it acts as your anchor. Because at the end of the day, if you don't know where you're going, how do you know what you're doing? And there's quite often what's happening is people are too focused on the what and the how and not the where they're actually going because they don't know why they're doing it. They end up going off in a completely different direction and they become disillusioned and frustrated, and it's not in alignment with their values and their beliefs. The purpose provides you with all the energy that you need to manage all the challenges, no matter what arises. And it also helps you to determine what impact, what difference do I want to make, and who benefits from it when I lead that. So before I go any further, what I would like to share with you right now, I mean, obviously over the last few days, as we said, you've made some incredible progress. There's been some great insights, some pearls of wisdoms, and you've refocused your energy and you've identified autopilot patterns, some of those things that there's doing behaviors, and also found sustainable habits that you can re-energize yourself. You've also found ways that you can transform your beliefs and empower yourself so you can reframe them and unlock your true potential. Tonight, we're covering off how you can reconnect with your purpose and share your authentic voice and your vision and align with everything that you stand for. Because when your values, your beliefs, and your purpose are all aligned, everything is in balance, and that's beautiful. So, and tomorrow, what we will be sharing is we'll be sharing about how you can start making bold moves and align to your career strategy. So you get some guidance of how to actually map that out. And that's great. And well done for showing up, and well done for showing up within the WhatsApp group and, staying connected. And for those of you that are not here tonight, obviously, if you keep on continuing the work with this will continue helping you to move forwards. But what I would like to share with you right now is, would it be okay for you if I took a moment to share with you what's next if you wanted to go further within this? And if that's okay, if you'd like to explore your next steps of how you can stay accountable, So beyond this challenge, keep your momentum, stay consistent with support, fast track your goals so you can accelerate your career with expert guidance, and also with a community, is, have that powerful network with awesome, amazing, like-minded women that's going to help to uplift you and inspire you and share your challenges, your wins, and all of the things that's going to help you to move forwards. So if you're okay with me going forwards with that, can you just put a yes in the chat? And if that's okay with you, and I shall just walk through with that. So, so what you're going to be getting after this 5-day challenge is the opportunity to have deeper growth. So you can expand your insights and your capabilities and take you to the next level. You can get that strategic momentum so you can accelerate your career trajectory. And rather than it taking 5 years, you can speed it up, the process, because it's focus and intentional action. And then, of course, you've got the powerful peer support network that I've just spoken about, where you get connection with exclusive community of inspiring, amazing, incredible women. Now, there's a few options, and the first option is that you continue to stay within the Thrive Beyond Boundaries inner circle, but not only do you get the opportunity to be part of the inner circle that's within the WhatsApp group, there's also the inner circle community where I share monthly master classes and coaching, where we can take a deeper dive into the Freedom Transformation Formula. There's also the peer support and accountability, so you can connect with each other and help with each other's mutual growth. And then there's also access to the resource vault, which has got all of the previous training that's taken place and the learning and some of the workshops that have gone over, well, a long time, what can I say? And lots of tools and templates that's going to help you to move forwards. And then there's also focus themes for growth. So there might be 1 month that's focused on specifically stress management, or another one that's about one of the steps within the re-energize. So you can maybe talk about gratitude or meditation or enhancement. And then there's also topics around self-doubt and limiting beliefs, and also about rediscovering your why. So it's really taking you down into deeper details of those. So there's that option, which it's £29.99 per month membership, and there's a 30-day free trial, which is no risk and full access. So if you take the opportunity, if you want to join right now, you can just scan the QR code. You can be a member from now on for the next 30 days. And then if you choose to step out, we'll just cancel the membership, or you can continue on being part of this community. Then there's option 2, which is a 12-week program, which is the transformation on a deeper dive, which is coach group sessions. So you get a chance to formulate your mastery around the Freedom Transformation Formula. And it's much deeper dive within the individual pillars. And there's also a personalized strategy that you would get, where you get tailored strategy for your specific requirements. There's comprehensive support within the community. That's group coaching, practical tools, and leadership templates. And as well as that, the access to the inner circle access that you would already have if you did the monthly membership. Plus, you get invitations, VIP invitations within that community for events and private dinners. You get exclusive access to those. And then the final option, which is the one that Claire is on, that you saw over the last few days. And that's a VIP 12-month leadership program, which is private one-to-one coaching, which is tailored for your needs and your requirements. There's elite access to the inner circle. There's also the potential for custom designing it, so you can get even more influence within your community, with your mentors, the people surrounding you, and your networks, how to elevate your career. And then, of course, you've got access to executive branding. So that's strategic positioning for career branding, and that includes things like personal branding, photography, and also how to actually promote yourself on social media and different networks. You also get one emotional freedom technique session, which for anybody that's not clear what that is, that's actually tapping, and that's associated to your meridians. So rather like tapping instead of acupuncture, but also using patterns to unlock some of the things that might be holding you back. And then, of course, exclusive access to the retreats. So, and the only option right now is which path would you like to choose? And if you would like to be in the inner circle and take up the opportunity, as I say, there's a 30-day trial that you're welcome to take part in for the next 30 days, and then from then on £29.99. And then with the other two programs, my preference is to book a clarity call so we can have a deeper dive conversation to understand what it is that you need as individuals. So we're making sure it's right for you and the right option, so it's fit for purpose. And I will share with you the link to my Calendly if you want to have a conversation privately on a one-to-one in a WhatsApp group. And I'll also share that in our contact details, if that's okay. All right. So it's where we are right now, and let's just continue on. So hopefully that's answered some questions about next steps if you want to know. But now to continue on with today. And this is all about finding your voice. So that's finding your voice framework, because quite often we don't know how to be able to elevate ourselves, be able to be in the right locations at the right time, and also to be able to speak our truth and become that confident leader that helps us to elevate our careers. I think I was talking about it briefly on the WhatsApp group. I was talking about Claire, and one of the things that Claire was saying that is that it's helped her to start becoming the director that she wants to be. She aspires to be a director within her sphere, and she's in a really high role, in a leadership role. But she wanted those tools and strategies to be able to help her to elevate herself even more. And it's all about start being your director now, rather than imagining what that's going to look like. Be that person. So, and the first key step is about your values. You know, trying to understand what your core principles are and what do you stand for in your leadership. One of the things that I found in my previous career, and I'm sure Evgenia can relate to this, is that we had some really great values that were written on the walls and in the book and everything like that. The challenge that I had was that quite often what I was experiencing from my leadership at the top of the business wasn't actually being practiced in relation to the values that were set out on the wall and what were aligned with me. So that actually affected my whole equilibrium. Basically, it really had an impact on me. And that's why it's so important to be clear about what your values are and make sure that your principles are aligned with what it is that you're doing and what type of career you want to be in and what leader you want to show up as. In terms of opportunities, is trying to understand what types of roles and projects naturally energize you. Like I turned around and said, is if you're doing something that doesn't fill you up, when you wake up in the morning, it's like a drudge. And quite often you get to Sunday night and you have that feeling where it's like, oh, it's Monday morning, and you don't want to go to bed on Sunday night, because the sooner you go to bed and you go to sleep, Monday morning is going to come sooner, and you're dreading that week ahead. And no one wants to be like that, because the reality is we've got one crack of the whip of life. So make sure that we do something we enjoy. And the third one is the impact, sort of where do you want to create meaningful change? What ripple effect do you want to create so you can create an environment where others want to be stepping into the environment that you're creating? You want to be that leader that lights up a room that when you walk in, certainly not when you're walking out. You want to be that one that shines, you motivate, you energize, you influence, you create that innovative environment where people want to either work with you or for you, or in some cases, they want to go in business with you, Debbie. So, and then the next key thing is around confidence, is that what evidence confirms your unique strengths. So when you start understanding the skills and capabilities and strengths that you have and that you can bring to the table, and it doesn't need to be the same as everybody else. As I mentioned last night, quite often women don't apply for roles if they haven't got 97% of the criteria. And by the way, that's irrelevant. Yes, it's important to have some of the skills, but it's about you standing out and making yourself look something that's different to other people. What impact are you going to bring to the table within their organization so they think, I need you within our business. You're going to make something change within our environment that wasn't there before. Or maybe it's a case of you create your own business and other people are inspired by that as well. And then the final piece here is about how you're going to communicate yourself and show that distinctive value. Rather, like I was saying then, is being able to promote yourself in a way where others recognize you for the value you bring to the table. We don't want to be all the same within a team or organization because, face it, that would be boring because it would be no one challenging your ideas or anything like that. And it means that there's not going to be any growth or inspiration or innovation and those kind of things. So when you've got other individuals around you that can communicate in a distinctive way and have got distinctive value, they're the type of people that you want to be a part of it. So what expression are you going to be making as an individual? Just going forwards there. So before I go any further here, has anybody got any questions or things that you can relate to that you would like to share? And I can't see.
Yeah.
Gone.
You can't see me, but yes, I do. I think my biggest problem was finding my purpose. And I went round and round in circles. And basically, now that I've kind of let it go naturally and gone with the flow as to what I enjoy and what I can add to, I found my purpose. And I think we spend so much time trying to find this one individual thing that's going to make life all worth living, when basically I think it was me just letting go with, what do I like to do? That was the first thing. What puts a smile on my face, rather than, you've got to have some big purpose that's going to change the world, but you're changing people's worlds within it. So I think that was the main thing. You've probably discussed that earlier on in the last 2-3 sessions, but that was something I found really difficult because everyone said, well, you need to find your purpose, but what was it? And then it stops you because you're looking on this huge, I'm going to find, the cure for all cancers or something like that. And you're not a doctor, so you're not going to achieve that. So it was that letting go of that sort of control and going with the flow and allowing your true self to come out to find out what direction suited you. So I've stopped rambling now.
No, it's not rambling, and it's really interesting that you say that because people are on this searching, but what they're not doing is, as you turned around and said, is actually taking time to be present and have reflection and try to understand what it is that they do really enjoy. So often we are stopped as children, oh, you can't do that because of this reason. You can't do that because it's not enough money. You can't do that because women don't do that, or it can't do that. All of these things where we're told that we can't do it. So quite often the creativity and curiosity and inspiration that we have at a young age gets pushed down. So it means that we don't know what it is that we love or what gives us purpose or what do we enjoy and all those kind of things. And purpose isn't about making a massive impact on the entire world, like you just turned around and said about, you know, like, you know, world cures and all those kind of things.
Mm.
It's how you feel happy and what connects to your heart and helps you to make meaningful change. The reason why I do what I do is because I never want another woman to experience the suffering that I had within my career that I didn't know I was suffering, you know, with the burnout, the limiting beliefs, the imposter syndrome, you know, the people pleasing, this. And it breaks my heart seeing it again and again and again. So, which for me, the reason why I love what I'm doing is when you see that change, that magical moment when they light up and that smile goes on their face, and when they have that positive change, that I literally get my heart just fills with joy. And it's hard to describe it for anyone that's not experienced it, but that's what I feel. And, you know, we should be able to have that experience. You know, we should be able to enjoy what we do in life. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's in our career. It might be something that is a hobby or something like that, but it's find what you love.
Mm.
Make him do. But yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing. So just move. Oh, I don't know where that's gone. Right. So what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight is your activity sheet. And although this does say career and vision, for those of you that might not want to be looking at it from a corporate role in a career, as I turned around and said, I love the thing that I recognized when I was in the corporate career. The bit that I love nothing more was the training, the coaching, and helping other people thrive and develop. So it doesn't mean to say that you have to stay in what you're doing. You could actually go outside and do something you love instead. Rather like myself and Evgenia has decided to do instead. So we've made a choice. But the activity sheet that we've got, there's going to be 4 key steps that you've given, and you'll be given a breakdown. And the first thing is really about what your core values are. You know, try to write down the things that you know, which you believe in, you know, and it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, for me, you know, mine is about honesty, integrity, trust, being authentic and being real and enjoying life, happiness. And but then there's going to be a question around, you know, purpose and impact. You know, I'm here to maybe transform something, create, lead, support. You may not want to be a CEO or an executive or a leader. It's about what is it that you want to do and what impact do you want to make? And that could be in your own sphere. It's not talking about globally. It's your own sphere. And then that unique contribution, you know, what skills do you want to bring to the table so you can help others to solve a problem? Like I've turned around and said, is that for me, the skills that I'm now bringing to the table is how I connect with others, my intuition, being able to take people on a deeper dive and try to get to the root of what's going on with them. I didn't know that I had these skills. I mean, it turns out I'd had it for a long, long time. I just didn't know I had those. But it's about trying to dig deeper and try to understand it, but also about the problem that you want to solve. And then that next level is really around I'm ready to step into. So whether it's a leadership role, it might be a project, it might be what impact you're making. As you turn around and say, Karen, you want to be able to speak on the stage and share your story. That's you taking it to the next level. So what do you need in order to get to that? So it's about breaking that down so you can understand what it is that you want, so you can take yourself to the direction that you want to go into. Okay. So I will be sharing that with you in the WhatsApp group and by email, along with the link if to the videos. And before I go any further, just going to escape out of that, stop sharing, so I can see your smiling faces even better, even though someone's not available to see. So the lovely Karen. before we wrap up for the evening, do you have any questions? Do you have any observations or learnings? Yeah. No, that's right. Good smiley faces. That's what I like to see. So, right. Well, thank you for your time, ladies, and thank you for joining us. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening. And hopefully, Karen, that you won't be kidnapped by aliens by tomorrow night. The reason why we said that, Evgenia, is she sent me a message saying that. So it's not that I'm being crazy. So anyway, you have a lovely evening, all of you, one way or another. Debbie more so. Enjoy.
Thank you. And no
Thank you
aliens
so
for
much.
me.
Thank you. Have a lovely evening.
Take care.
Thank
See
Bye.
you
you, Karen.
tomorrow.
Cheers. Take care, everybody. Ciao,
Bye.
ciao. Bye-bye.